Hey governors, I'm not a saint because I don't have any holidays named after me. Like, it seems like if you were a saint and did anything hundreds of years ago, you would get a holiday. One saint was horny, one became a fat man with a beard, and one saint was even Irish. St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is the day where we all celebrate Irish people for existing, I guess, and as far as I could tell, that isn't even a joke. And hey, that's amazing for me because I myself am Irish. No, I cannot point to where Ireland is on a map. But I'm still very happy for today because as an Irish person, I get to share my culture of the color green and being drunk with everybody else. The Irish culture truly explodes today. But I can't just make an entire video just talking about the color green. I already make enough videos about topics nobody else but me cares for. I can't do another one like that, so let's just talk about everything else relating to St. Patrick's Day. So first off, let's talk about who St. Patrick was. So St. Patrick was born in the 5th century in Roman Britain. Oh yeah, fun fact, St. Patrick wasn't even originally from Ireland. I can't believe there's a genuine equivalent of Santa isn't real for St. Patrick's Day. But anyways, Patrick did go to Ireland eventually, thankfully, and he's known for bringing Christianity there. So I guess that in some ways, St. Patrick's Day could be a Christian holiday. Maybe I used that Christmas comparison a bit too early. So yeah, we started to celebrate St. Patrick's Day to honor St. Patrick bringing Christianity to Ireland, but I guess we now celebrate it as an excuse to drink alcohol and wear green. That's a great way to celebrate a man, not to celebrate any of the ideas he practiced during his lifetime that gave him the holiday in the first place, but to get unnecessarily drunk. Great work, everyone! But still, St. Patrick was pretty cool, even if he didn't bring me gifts like another saint. And honestly, you know what's even worse than that? How little I feel like St. Patrick is an actual mascot for his own holiday, at least compared to leprechauns. I know I already talked a bit about leprechauns in my cryptids video from last year, but it's St. Patrick's Day today. How do you expect me not to talk about them? So leprechauns. I think everybody knows what a leprechaun is, but screw you, I'll explain what they are anyways. They're basically known as short little people with beards that also wear a ton of green and absolutely love alcohol and gold. Why do I feel like that's an offensive stereotype to somebody? But still, leprechauns are weird little creatures. Imagine being a saint, doing what you think is the best thing you could do with your lifetime, and when you get a holiday that's literally named after you, the mascot ends up being a greedy little gremlin guy who likes beer. And hey, we're not even at the bottom of the barrel, like talking about their weird obsession with shoes. You could probably guess what I'm gonna say about that. And hey, since we're already talking about holiday symbols, let's talk about clovers, which are associated with St. Patrick's Day too. I was sort of thinking how random a random plant was for a holiday symbol, before I remembered Christmas has things like mistletoes and even an entire tree associated with it. But clovers are awesome as plants. They sometimes even have 4 leaves on them. Look guys, I'm trying to make this sound as cool as possible, please understand. But yeah, leprechauns and clovers are our main 2 symbols for St. Patrick's Day. And they are pretty weird and random all things considered, but being fair, that implies the other holiday mascots and symbols are normal in comparison. I already talked about my problems with mascots like the Easter Bunny and Cupid, so the leprechaun is the newest victim, I guess. All I will say is that the leprechaun isn't much better than those 2 mascots in terms of being normal, but they are still pretty awesome. But now, speaking of past video traditions, it's time to talk about St. Patrick's Day media like movies and music. Talking about St. Patrick's Day movies is pretty weird in my opinion, because I wouldn't really consider there to be any direct St. Patrick's Day movies, just more so movies that have to do with Ireland or Irish culture. But sadly, I haven't personally seen any movies I would consider close enough to possibly falling under St. Patrick's Day movies. Yeah, despite me being Irish, I haven't personally seen any movies I would really consider Irish enough to talk about in this video. I have seen films like Stitches before, which has people from Ireland in it, but that's not what I'm really talking about today with movies. Besides, I'm sure you're all tired of hearing me mention horror films in these videos, which is also part of why I'm not talking about the Leprechaun horror films. You cannot make me! But I would like to at least give a shout out to any and all Irish movies such as In the Name of My Father and The Wind That Shakes Barely. You should definitely watch more Irish movies because hey, might as well. But still, I don't have much to add for movies today, even though I wish I could. So moving on from Irish movies, we should talk about Irish food. Yeah, I know I would normally go into music after talking about movies in this video, but I'm making an exception this time. Mainly because I feel like ending this video on Irish music would be great. But still, when going into this video, I didn't think I would be able to have a section about food. But surprisingly, there are some foods relating to St. Patrick's Day that I would still like to talk about. I mean, it's only 3, with 2 of them I wouldn't even technically count as food, but hey, I still have something to talk about. Yeah, we're obviously talking about the shamrock shake first. I'm basic as hell, I absolutely love the shamrock shake. But just know that if I ever say no to the offer of a shamrock shake, then that isn't me, that's a skinwalker. Moving on from shamrock shakes, since I have nothing more to add about them besides me loving them, I just want to ask, does anybody else remember the green St. Patrick's Day ketchup from Burger King? I know this is such a weird thing for me to bring up, but I so badly need to know if that was real or just some weird lucid dream I had. Yes, I'm aware both of the food things I mentioned so far are from fast food places, which is an ironically American trait for a video all about the Irish. So let's start talking about Lucky Charms, which I guess counts. I mean, the mascot is an annoying leprechaun, of course it counts. What random theming for a cereal brand. Like, whose idea was it to start throwing in balloons and leprechaun hat marshmallows in a cereal? I mean, the marshmallows are the main reason everybody eats Lucky Charms, but shut up. You don't need to cram everything to exist in a cereal, because if they did, then my idea for cereal about electric forklifts isn't so stupid after all. Just face it, breakfast is ruined. Still, that's all the food I felt like talking about today, despite it being the 3 most random food products of all time. And when it comes to strictly drinks associated with St. Patrick's Day, all there really is alcohol. Yeah, I'm not 21 yet, I can't legally talk about my opinions on alcohol yet. Let's move on. But thankfully, I could finally talk about my opinions on Irish music, which I am so excited for. Say whatever you want about Irish movies or food, but you can't deny that Irish music is absolutely awesome. First off, I'd like to bring up Rocky Road to Dublin. I now know why Sinners used the song, because it caught all the people sitting by not enjoying the song before the film. But for real, Rocky Road to Dublin is an absolutely awesome song, and thank you to Sinners for bringing it more mainstream. And speaking of streams, shout out to the Riverdance. Haha, so you see the joke here is that streams and rivers are both real. I believe that the Irish Riverdance and the Irish Dig are awesome too, but that may be partly because of my bias. But for a band that I love more for my reasons other than my bias, the Cranberries. I know they don't make direct Irish music like what I've been talking about in this video, but I just felt like giving them a shout out for being a great Irish rock band. They've had some pretty popular songs like Zombies and Dreams, but they still feel underrated in my opinion. So even if you don't like Irish music, which basically means you're an idiot, you can go listen to the Cranberries, they're great. They're great to eat too, I'm sorry. And yes, I could go on forever about Irish songs, from Whiskey in a Jar to Kinky Boots, not that Kinky Boots. But for the final 2 I'd like to talk about today, besides just saying that they're good and then moving on, are another Irish drinking song by Da Vinci's Notebook and the Irish drinking song by Kyle Gordon. Both are songs pairing stereotypical Irish songs, but you want to have proof that Irish songs are great? I think these 2 songs are genuinely good too. 2 songs that try parodying Irish music are absolutely great too. So if you think me thinking Irish music is amazing, maybe a little bit biased or just me having terrible taste again, just a reminder that even songs making fun of Irish music are great. Me absolutely glazing Irish music makes sense now. Hell, I would honestly argue that the Irish drinking song by Kyle Gordon is my favorite Irish drinking song. It makes me feel proud of my Irishness. And honestly, after talking all about St. Patrick's Day, isn't that the best part of this holiday? Being proud of being Irish? I mean, yet again, I know a lot of it is probably just wearing green and getting drunk to a lot of people, but this holiday means a lot to me. Honestly, I was considering not even doing this video, as I may want to draw back on the amount of holiday videos I do. I mean, I don't think anybody would be dying for a video about National Cheese Day, but I just felt like as an Irish person, I couldn't not make a video about St. Patrick's Day. I felt bad not doing it last year, but I did do it eventually, so that makes up for it in my opinion at least. But still, I hope I reminded you all that this holiday is more than just wearing green. It's actually a holiday about weird little Oompa Loompa guys who are obsessed with feet that love getting drunk while blasting songs about killing British people. Yeah, do I need to explain why I think this is a great holiday? And once again, as an Irish person, I'm just happy that St. Patrick's Day exists. I gotta find some way to show my Irishness down everybody's throat, and this video was just one way for me to do it. Still, that's all I really had to say about St. Patrick's Day. I hope you all enjoyed talking about it. I'm now off to go get drunk with a bunch of Shamrock Shakes. Happy St. Patrick's Day and have a great day.
Now everybody's died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. We'll dance and sing and fight until the early morning light, then we'll throw up, pass out, wake up, and then go drinking once again.